time to get down, 'cause we're moving on. Oh, check out the crowds in the bucket.
Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. Give a round. Well, welcome to the Borlaug Barn Dedication. I'm Norma Jean, President of the Norman Borlaug Heritage Foundation. It is an exciting day for us to share this barn project with you. Unfortunately, the weather has not been our friend this week and has caused some slight changes with the wagon rides to and from the farms. But regardless, we're still going to have a great day. We are thrilled to have Jeanie Borlaug Laube with us, which is Norm's daughter. She will be speaking to us in a little bit, along with Kurt Meyer from the Iowa Barn Foundation and Scott Thompson. A couple of years ago, the foundation was having conversations and questioning the longevity of the barn. And there's no question in our minds that the barn needed to be preserved. The mission of the Norman Borlaug Heritage Foundation is a preservation of Dr. Borlaug's birthplace and boyhood homes, and inspiration, engagement, and empowerment through educational programming. After the Borlaug Foundation made its commitment to preserve this barn, the next step on our journey was to secure funding, which in large part was accomplished through a grant by the Iowa Barn Foundation. This grant provided matching funds and was instrumental in the success. We want to thank Kurt and the Iowa Barn Foundation for their support. Then the next step, in order to provide the matching funds, we had to raise the funds. There are many donors that came forward to support our cause. We want to thank the Howard County Community Foundation, Donna Thomas and Cresco Bank and Trust, Tom Spindler, Dale and Catherine Holstrom, and Gary and Elaine Gassett. A special thank you to Jack Thompson Memorial Fund and the Thompson family for their major contribution. Without the support of the donors and the community members, this restoration project wouldn't be possible.
Yesterday we had the great fortune of being at the farm and visiting with 300 fifth graders from the area. And it was really, truly delightful. And I would tell them all that my dad was three things. And I know many of you in this room know my dad, or knew my dad, know him. First of all, he was a scientist. And I told him he went to the University of Minnesota. And I know people in Iowa don't like to hear that, but it's a fact. He got his PhD, he got his master's in forestry, and he loved trees. He also got his PhD in plant pathology and genetics, and that's how he started doing all of his genetic engineering. Well, it's called, they don't like to say genetic engineering, but anyway, his crossbreeding to make things better than they were before with the wheat crops. Then he was also a humanitarian, and I asked all the kids, what is a humanitarian? And some of them looked at me, and when I talked about what a humanitarian does, my dad was a perfect example of a fabulous humanitarian, helping other people. That was his life. He knew that he wanted to feed the world. He didn't do it for honors. He probably would have been embarrassed with all these honors that he's been bestowed upon, but he did it out of the goodness of his heart. When he went to the University of Minnesota, he had never seen this before. He had seen people in Iowa that were fed and happy and helped each other, and he got up to the University of Minnesota and he saw the bread lines, and he said, this should never happen in our wonderful country. And from that point on, that was really the springboard for his wanting to feed the world. And then the last thing that he was a teacher. He loved teaching. He loved youth. He loved the young people. And he probably taught, I don't know how many hundreds or thousands of international students to go back to their own country and learn how to feed their own people. So between those three things, I think it really sums up what my dad was. He was a very kind, as you know, patient person. Somebody said, well, when did you know he was famous? And then somebody asked my brother and myself that. And we kind of looked at each other and said, we didn't know he was famous till he got the Nobel Peace Prize. So he would go off to work or go off to India or Pakistan, and we often said, really, my mom's the one that deserved the Nobel Peace Prize for putting up with him. in Mexico. We didn't have the opportunity to come to Iowa very often. We came every other year when Daddy had home leave. And so that's when we got to know the wonderful people of Iowa. And that is where my dad got his start, his moral ethical values, was from right here, from all of you all, and from the way that the people live in Iowa. So, and he would be really delighted to see what has happened with this foundation and what you've done to restore this, and also the home where he was raised after 8 years, I guess. As you know, he won the Nobel Peace Prize, the Medal of Freedom, and the Congressional Gold Medal, and poor Alan Borlaug has been sitting back there monitoring all of that, and I thank Alan for doing that. We brought those up for the kids to see yesterday, and I hope that all of you have gotten to just take a peek at what we have there. We also have the Science Award.
Thank you, Norma Jean.
Oh, you're welcome. That's another thing. My name is really Norma Jean, and only Alan Borlaug and my grandmother called me Norma Jean. My dad saw me, and the minute he saw me, he said, "That's Jeanie." And my mom said, "Well, why do we name her Norma Jean?" And he said, "I don't know, but it's Jeanie." So my passport and Alan and my grandmother are the only ones that call me Norma. But as you know, there are only 6 people that have ever gotten those 3 big awards, and I can't remember some of them, but Mother Teresa, Alan, who else?
Martin Luther King.
Elie Wiesel, Mandela. I know. Anyway, and probably one of the awards which Iowa gave him is that statue, that fabulous statue that's in Statuary Hall in D.C. And Luke was able to go see that put in, and that is a fabulous, fabulous homage to him, and we thank you, the people of Iowa, because it was you all that put him in. So thank you very much for all that you do, and God bless you, and I love coming back, and I'll be back next year to do this again.